So last night, everybody thought, there's no way Toronto is losing on their own home ice. Not the way they're playing. Coming back against the Avalanche, crushing the Stanley Cup champs in their building. You think they're coming home and they're losing to Vegas, who doesn't even have Eichel and Stone? You think they're going to lose? Well, they did. Toronto played poorly. They had a bad night. So did this guy. This guy didn't have a great night. But you know what? As I've told you many times, you have to hope for it every once in a while. Because if it keeps going the way that it's been going, this is going to be the final season of Sniffing with Andy, because I'm never going to need to make any videos. I'm not going to need to grow anything else, because the sniffs will just send me right to that Bellagio. And yes, I'm still waiting for the new bottle waitress. The new one they hired this year? She's going to be fanning me, and I'm just going to be enjoying the fruits of my NHL sniffs. But when you have a night like last night, it keeps the sniffer humble, but it may not have been as bad as it was for some of you, because as I always kind of mention toward the end of the videos, I always say if I see something throughout the day, if there's any sort of lineup changes, any sort of lineup adjustments, I can update the picks accordingly. And in the middle of the day, not in the middle of the night, where hopefully you'll be getting your sniffs. I haven't checked last night's numbers, but I imagine they're going to be good, so you're going to be getting your sniffs in the middle of that whole thing. So I saw that Kempe was ruled out for the LA Kings. So where I was leaning on taking the Kings, like I said, I was off that. I said, you know what? Kempe's not in that game. Here's what I'll do. I'll greenlight the under 6.5, but more importantly, I know Fiala's going to have to shoulder more of the offensive burden. And on the power play, when you think about shooters, who's going to fire the puck? It's always Kempe and Fiala. They're the main two culprits. So I thought, okay, Fiala's going to have to shoulder more of the offensive burden. Give me the over 2.5 shots for Kevin Fiala, and then neither team to get to 5 goals. Remember that one from last year? It used to be both teams under 4.5. Now they just changed it to neither team gets to 5 goals. So we took that. We're able to hit a plus money bet. It was like plus 160, plus 170. But more importantly, huge trickle-down snakeonomics move. The New Jersey Devils have been tinkering with line combinations, and then they released them the day of. So, you know what? If I screwed you a little bit last night, listen to this stuff, because this can help you on your daily sniffing escapades. So, the Devils, who have been struggling, you can't just go to Daily Faceoff and look at the line combinations the night before. You have to get those final practice reports where that girl, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I kind of like, at first I was like, how corny is this? I kind of like what she does. She writes the updated line combinations on her notebook. And I saw that in San Jose, Timo Meier got a promotion to the top line with Bratt and Hischier. And back in his old building, I'm like, okay, I want to build some Timo Meier bets. Here's what we'll do. Because remember, he's not priced as a top line player playing with those two guys. I said, I'm going to go with Nico Hischier assist and a Timo Meier point. So we were able to get that. Both of them had 2 points each. I was able to nail some line mate 2+ point combos, and it was great trickle-down snakeonomics. People talk about edge, and I always tell you, I'm not a gambler. I'm just a sniffer. My guess is the edge people are talking about are that. That is an edge. You know the prices are out. They haven't changed. The odds makers did not factor in Timo Meier playing with Jesper Bratt and Nico Hischier against the San Jose Sharks. They probably would and should update their price if they knew that was the case. So it is a massive advantage. You want your edge? Oh, we're always looking for it. There's your edge right there. Just on the edge of your skate blade. Just like the sound effects that I put in these videos. That is a way to get a good value on something, even if it doesn't hit. So you can curse to the sky, oh, the Drake Batherson, oh, no, Norris. It's the same philosophy. You're looking for promotions that are giving you a better price. It's not always going to hit. You know the whole plus EV thing? You know what I want? You want that summed up quickly? This is priced at $150. This probably should be priced at minus $210. Minus $150 is a great price. That's what it is, and that's what you get when you get a great trickle-down snakeonomics play. Look at Rickard Rakell. 1 week ago, not on the top power play, on like the third line. Now, on top power play, on top line with Crosby. Oh, what do you know? 2 straight games where he's nagged 2+ points. These are the things that you got to be looking at. So you could say, oh, Andy, thanks for the picks yesterday. Or you could say, thanks for that advice right there, because that was pretty goddamn good. And I'll keep reiterating it until you need to stop asking me, because that is how you can take a night that starts out poorly like last night and end it counting a couple stacks, or at least getting yourself back to even, if not more. So now, here on a Wednesday, we got 2 games, but it could be worse. You know, it could be 2 dead teams where you're like, oh my God, what am I doing with these games? But they gave us the Oilers, which is always kind of fun. And then you got the Rangers in there. And the Rangers just played the Blue Jackets the other night. Columbus beat them. Last Friday, what did we talk about on Picking Corners with Josh when we were trying to pick out a couple 2-point combos with some of the plays? We were talking about that Russian line over on Columbus and how they do the other night against the Rangers. I believe it was 5 total points, 2 points, 2 points, and 1 point. That line plays together on the second line, and they get Columbus is one of these teams who divvies up their power play usually. It's like 1 minute, 1 minute. So they get ample power play time. They scored a power play goal last game, and they scored an even strength goal last game. When you look at the prices on these guys, I'm sorry, it's worth it to throw a couple points out there. Like, you look at Voronkov, who's a center, and when you're a center, you can get free points. Just ask Mark Scheifele. Wins a faceoff last night, defenseman blasts it, and there's a point for you right there. Voronkov, who had a point in the last game, I believe he had 2 points in the last game. I mean, his point prop is like plus 135 on its own, let alone if you take like a Chinakhov assist and a Voronkov point, just connecting on 1 goal, it's almost like plus 500. I think the value there is just insane. Are the Rangers really going to be all gung-ho about this game? Yeah, we're playing Columbus, baby. I don't know. Maybe the Rangers win. Sure, good. Well, if you think about it, the Columbus Blue Jackets, what's their goal total going to be? All right, how about this? You right now, how many goals are they going to score? Did you say 2? If you said 1 or 0, not because you're being a stubborn prick, but because you actually mean it, then fine, stay away from these. But if you even said 2, then this is worth a little deli slice. You don't have to put that much on it when you see these prices. And also, not just that, I'm also going to go with Jenner and Gaudreau as a line mate point prop combo, because they're in the plus money, let alone if you take Jenner for an assist and Gaudreau for a point, that's a really high plus money as well. So you just got to think, if there are 2 goals in this game, if one of those lines connects for a goal, just one of them. So if there's 2 goals in the game and one of those 2 goals is scored by either line 1 or line 2, in my opinion, you've won money on the day. So if those line mate combos, if one completely fails and one hits, you should be up for the day. And Gaudreau and Jenner are both on the top power play together. They've also been producing too. Go check out that game versus Anaheim. So that top line's playing well. The Roslovic, Jenner, Gaudreau, and then the Russian second line. Don't know if they're going to win. Don't care if they're going to win. I'm just looking for that line to connect on something along the way. On the Rangers side, there was one name, one prop that stuck out to me. And if you would want to take the Rangers at minus 800, go ahead, do that to yourself while I try to look for some good deals up in here. Alex Lafreniere playing with full confidence right now. If you look at like his last month, he's went under his 2.5 shots on goal total once. And he's not just barely clearing it. Many of these games, 5 shots, 4 shots. They have it listed at 2.5 once again. At 5-on-5, he plays with 2 great passers in Trocheck and Panarin. He's playing with confidence. He's shooting more. And he's going up against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Do they scare you defensively? So the opportunities are there for Alex Lafreniere. So if you do want to be a chalk Rangers better, I'm sure if you add the Lafreniere shots on goal, that will take it to around even or slightly plus money, something like that. But I do like the Alex Lafreniere over 2.5 shots on goal. So that's what I got for the first game. Now, this next game, it's a rematch of like a week and a half ago. It was when we predicted that these Edmonton games were going to start being more ruckus-like, where they were going to start scoring more, start letting more in. My guess is Skinner doesn't play this one. This smells like a rest Skinner game, but even if he does, look what he did against Calgary a couple games back. I'm looking at a couple guys on St. Louis first, just the same way in the last game. I was looking at some of those Blue Jackets first. Yeah, Blues, Blue Jackets. And I'm looking at the classic the classic line. It's a one-line team, and even in games like last night, doesn't get much tougher of a matchup, although Hellebuyck wasn't playing in Winnipeg against the Jets. Thomas and Buchnevich connected on a goal. I'm picking them to do that again. They have to shoulder the offensive burden for this team. I'm taking Robert Thomas, and I'm taking Pavel Buchnevich for a point. If you want to mix and match with the assist point assist, that's kind of how I do it. Like if I have $10, I'll take both of them for a point for $6. Thomas for an assist with Buchnevich to get a point, and then Buchnevich to get an assist with Thomas to get a point. Do you understand? A little pie chart sniffing right there. Then as far as the game goes, it's Edmonton. Let's go a little over 6.5. Let's hope it's a fun game. These Edmonton games, many of them have the potential to go over. They're not playing great defense. When they're playing around 500 hockey, which is what they're doing lately, win 1, lose 2, win 1, these games tend to go over. We're going to have to rely on that Thomas line. I feel like without that Thomas line doing what they're supposed to do, but maybe this will be a game just like it was in St. Louis, except the flip, where it will be maybe like 5-2 Edmonton or something like that. Leon Draisaitl, who last game was on the top line with McDavid, he snagged over 1.5 points. When you got him on the top line with McDavid, and that's confirmed, and you know the power play is vicious, he's always a good bet for 2 points. And I think there are 2-point combos here. That you can take in and of itself, 1.5 points for Leon Draisaitl. I think this has the capability of being one guy for 2 points on one team, one guy for 2 points on another team. I'll start with Draisaitl there, and I'll combine him with Pavel Buchnevich. I think this is one of those matchups where something like this is doable. I don't know the exact odds on it, but I'm going to guess it's around plus 900, plus 1,000. Same type of thing goes for 2 points for Robert Thomas, 2 points for Evan Bouchard, who's been killing these 2-point props. Had it again last game. Bouchard, when that power play is connecting, always kind of seems to be involved. So if you do 2 points for Thomas, 2 points for Evan Bouchard, it's got to be like plus 1,200, if not more. And I think that's a good way to end our Wednesday night with a little ruckus. End hump day with a little bit of ruckus. I don't know, that kind of sounds like it fits. Anyway, good luck to you. Better luck to me. You know what to do. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel here. Make sure you're liking and commenting on these videos. The day this turns into one of those YouTube videos where you look down like, oh, 80,000. I'm never going to ask for a damn thing. I'm a reasonable individual. You think I'm going to watch a Korn music video and then comment, wow, I remember when I was on my bike home and I picked up whatever the hell the name of that CD was. So I fully understand not wanting to comment, but do realize I'm in the infancy stages where every comment counts. So if you can do that, I'd appreciate it. Let people know about the videos here. Hopefully they'll enjoy them. Maybe they'll check out some other stuff. I'm going to do a comedy pod this weekend. Hopefully you guys are around for that. I know some of you crave my voice on the weekend, so you will have it this weekend. I'm going to tape an episode of the comedy pod. I've been storing some stuff up. I got a whole new scam of the week for you, but we'll talk about that then. And then as always, you can join the Patreon. It's patreon.com/Andy Francis. We were able to find that Meyer thing yesterday, able to find the Fiala shots and that bet. So there's always a chance that we could find some gold throughout the day. And you could also just want to support the show and be a minority Green Bay Packers owner where you feel like, you know what? I own part of the team. I was there in the beginning. You want to be that guy who says, like, I was there in the beginning. Look, and you could show the receipt. You could show the year. I started then. When did you start? It's going to be a whole big thing. Just like tiered sniffing. All right, guys, I'll be back with you tomorrow. I'll talk to you then.